What's up, everybody? It's Christian Varma and our dear friend Simon Tragesa. Welcome to Berlin.
Thank you, brother.
We decided to do a conversation today, sort of a podcast.
No, not sort of a podcast. Podcast.
A podcast, okay.
This new podcast studio in Berlin.
I love it. And, well, let's start off saying this man kicked ass yesterday. He had a half marathon, the official Berlin marathon, and he did under 90 minutes, 1 hour, 26 minutes. I mean, goddamn, that's a hard pace. How are you feeling today?
Legs are a bit tender, but generally speaking, it's okay. And I have to say also, before the race yesterday, in my naive mind, I said to myself, I will do it in 1:20.
Okay.
And when I started the race, I realized how quick that would be throughout all the race, and which pace I would need to keep. So with that being said, I'm really happy with the 1:26. So I'm feeling good. The distance is not really a problem, so 21 kilometers, but the pace, for me, it was also quick. So it was not like for me as if it was a walk in the park. Not at all.
Cool.
Yeah. No, but the atmosphere was great. Berlin is a really cool city. He's living here.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed myself. And he ran also a semi-marathon, by the way, yesterday.
Yeah,
Spontaneously.
I'm trying to build up on my
the
volume.
other part of Berlin.
Yeah, so I have access to the largest park in Berlin here, just crossing the river. And I did 21K, but it took me 1 hour 55. I was doing it also in a moderate pace. So yeah, I'm happy about that too. It's the first week of the year where I do over 50K in a week, which sounds like a lot, but I don't know. I wish I could reach one day 100 in a week and plus. Let's see. I still don't know how
to accumulate a bit of volume.
Yeah, I need to get used to a lot of volume, and there's a reason for that, but we're going to talk about it.
First, I have another question.
Yeah.
You came back from Guatemala.
Yeah.
To Berlin. How is it for you? It's not the first time that you do this travel, but how is it for you, the difference, and how did you we know at the moment you're doing a lot of running.
Yeah.
So how you establish yourself here again with your training? What does your training look like at the moment? How often a week do you run? Do you do any burpees?
Yeah.
And also how it is mentally to be here again compared to...
Yeah, that's a packed question.
Yeah.
Well, for the last 8 years, I've been going to Guatemala every time during the winter, and we stay there 2 to 3 months. Now that is possible because of the way we live. My wife, she does research for the university, and basically she needs to have books, texts, and her laptop. And I have clients in Guatemala, so I call it a workation, because there's vacation, but there's also work.
The working process.
Yeah, and my daughter, she's 7 years old.
She's going to school there, right?
She needs to go to school because if we don't take her to school, I don't get the permit.
Yeah, of course.
To get her out of school. So that's a big issue. And so coming back, it always takes me about a week to settle in with the sleep. It's 8 hours difference, so it's considerable. Then there's also the temperature difference. So over there, every day we have 30 degrees. I mean, it's the tropics.
Yeah.
Although we live at almost 1,600 meters altitude there, the temperatures at night do drop to about 15 degrees. I mean, in Germany, I'm in a t-shirt at 15 degrees, but
I think it's a great kind of heat. No, it's not really humid, right? Or
and there's a humid phase.
Also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in Guatemala, we only have 2 seasons: the dry season and the rainy season.
Yeah.
The rainy season is starting right now. And you have periods of weeks where it rains nonstop. I mean, it's a tropical rainforest territory. And then there's this phenomena. It's called a canicule. So it's a pressure drop, and the sky opens up.
It's French for heat wave.
Okay.
French word. Yeah.
So that opens up the sky, and all of a sudden you see everything and it looks jade green. I mean, it's something very mesmerizing.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
And coming back, I never have like a psychological issue that I'm unhappy here.
Yeah.
You know, the big city.
It's just different.
I really love it
Yeah.
here in Berlin, so I don't have a problem with that. And then I start training. The first day I feel good, I'll do some training. But usually I do push-ups and squats and stuff like that throughout the day in sort of a grease the groove
Yes.
manner.
Yeah.
And now I'm running 3 times per week. My shortest distance is 10K.
Mm-hmm.
And the longest one I've done until now is 21K, but I'm trying to do 30Ks, 35Ks, maybe once per week.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I'm still feeling the fatigue of putting more volume into the week.
Of course. Yeah.
So
But it means to adapt.
yeah. So burpees, I've done 2 or 3 longer sessions, but I'm still trying to adapt to the running. That's my priority right now. So once I get settled into that, I'm gonna try more burpees, especially also pull-ups. I haven't done pull-ups or muscle-ups in ages, 3-4 months now, and I miss that. I genuinely miss that.
I totally know what you mean, because if I only do, me too, my main focus right now is on running for our known reason. But if I only do running, I kind of feels like I'm lacking something. I really enjoy doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
I want to still train push-ups. I want to, I still want to train my muscles apart from my legs. Because let's be honest, for me personally, if I'm running, it's like a leg workout. Especially recently, I'm doing a lot of trail running. Yeah. And afterwards, I feel, or also during it, feels like I'm doing a leg day. Because if you go up the hills, down the hills again, it's a different thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And separately from that, I still like to train, my full body kind of training, which you always see on my channel. And for me,
you've been quite active there.
Yeah, on my channel in general, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're doing lots of shorts now. You're on Instagram now.
I try to up my game.
Yeah. No, it's a good strategy. I remember trying a little bit of Instagram, but I got bored of it, to be honest. Like, I was investing too much effort into the reels, which is also fun, but then one for Instagram and one for YouTube, because the modality of putting music into them is a little bit different, but nah. And what about you? I see you run maybe 2 or 3 times per week?
I would say yes, around 3, maybe even 4, let's say 3 times per week. Like you, or I assume my longest runs until now, they are 21 kilometer distance. I absolutely know I still need to increase that. But like I said, I'm really focusing on trail running. So I'm running a lot in the forest to do like uphill. Thank you. Because I will be running a trail marathon in June. So I'm preparing for that. I'm really looking forward to do that.
This man is traveling Europe to go run.
Yeah, I really enjoy running, at the moment.
Yeah.
And since the moment already. And I want to try out different races. I read a book recently. I will speak about that in a second. Which really inspired me. But my main focus is on, for example, for the thing yesterday in Berlin, I didn't really, no joke, before the run yesterday, I didn't run road since 2 or 3 weeks. Oh. I only was in the forest, up and down. I tried to do kind of trail running, so I didn't really train for the road race yesterday. But it was still a great training run in order to prepare for a marathon, for example.
Absolutely.
Because every run I do, I look at it like a learning curve. Out of every single run, especially these kind of competition runs, I learned something. Yesterday I learned that I cannot start like that, or maybe I could start like that and try it for the marathon distance, but it would be really hard to keep a 3:50 pace for me with my current level throughout the marathon distance. But I understood maybe that I could target a 4:15, 4:10 pace during the marathon. That would be insane. So I learned that yesterday, for example. So I look at every run like an opportunity to learn something.
What is 4:15 on the marathon? Like it's 3:30?
No, much less.
3:20?
Even less.
Wow.
Because my the marathon in Frankfurt I did 3:13, and I had,
you're right.
I had a 4:30 pace. So
so I must be a little bit under 3.
I think either it's just slightly below 3 hours, or it's just above. But it's kind of at the tipping point. Yeah. So below 3 hours would be insane. That is my goal in the coming times. But yeah, let's see.
Have you seen? Do you know the YouTuber called Casey Neistat?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
he had a challenge one time or a video about marathons, no?
I just saw this recently, and he started running, I guess, 15, 17 years ago, and he liked it.
Yeah.
Then, from the very start, he said to himself, I want to run a marathon under 3 hours. And so he ran, he did like 3:20, 3:15, 3:06, then 3:10 again. I mean, he does a very nice video about it. And then I think he's my age. He's 43 or something.
He said he's about 40 for sure.
And at that age, he finally hit 2:57 or 2:56. And he thought he was giving up. I can't do this anymore. But I think, if you stay with it, at it, and focus,
Yeah, absolutely. Because for me personally, I don't know about you. I know that for me, running is my thing in the coming years. It's my main focus. Yeah. I always will love my calisthenics, my body weight training. But I think for every person, it's cool to have this competition factor.
Yeah.
Mainly, of course, everybody knows this phrase, but it's true. I'm in competition against myself.
Yeah.
But I'm honest with you, it's cool to compete in a race, to have other people around you, bam, bam. Getting people running past you left, right, and center, running past people, and kind of enjoy yourself in the race. And for me, that would be cool to test myself in trail marathons, in ultra marathons, and I really enjoy that. So that's why I would really focus on running to get really better at that. And the sub 3 hour marathon is really possible, especially if you implement a training system. And even me, I don't have a training system for my running, for example.
Yeah, me neither.
You neither. We are really similar when it comes to that. We are really intuitive runners, you can say. Yeah. And I think you just go out running. You know more or less where you go, and then you enjoy yourself. Right?
Yeah. Yesterday I went exploring, but usually I know where I'm going to.
Me too, more or less. And then sometimes I take a way there, especially when I go in the forest. You can explore a bit the different kind of ways or path. And that's really cool. That's why I love also running. I don't really like to put myself in a. For me, it would feel like a personal jail if I always need to hear my training run with this and that. I know
intervals.
I know it really helps. Yeah, but it's absolutely not my thing. But maybe, also for our next topic in preparation for the ultra marathon, a training plan in hand could be useful. But that's not the thing.
I've been exploring this and trying to figure out, because I did try to look into ways of training for the ultra marathon, and there are ways of doing periodizations of high volume going back to low volume.
Yeah.
But that's a very methodical way that's
of going about it. Yeah.
Doesn't allow for variables.
Yeah.
So what happens if you get sick? Do you take 2-3 steps back in your plan? What is it?
Yeah.
So, and then I see other approaches. I was listening to David Goggins. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, but she was sitting in a car and she was saying, this is a normal day in David Goggins' life. So basically, 2 hours ago, he decided to go out, run 80 miles or something like that. Ridiculous. And then he comes back and he stretches 2 hours and then he trains again. And so for me, I'm just trying to explore ways to deal with fatigue.
Yeah, that is really important. It's a very good point. You can have every training system in the world, but at the end of the day, in an ultra marathon, you know that you will suffer. And also, it's a fact. Also, you know that your legs, they won't go over all the distance perfectly fine, and you will feel great. No, it's impossible. Even for the experienced ultra runners, they really struggle. I recently read a book about it's called The Rise of Ultra Runners. It's amazing. Really, really inspired me. and it speaks about, or it's a guy who interviews different kind of ultra runners, and he himself is working towards his way to do the Ultra Trail of Mont Blanc. It's like the Champions League run of ultra runners.
Absolutely.
Every huge runner is there. If you don't know that, it's a trail run or a trail ultra marathon around the Mont Blanc. It's a mountain in France, or going from France to Swiss and even Italy, and you do 160 kilometers. It's huge.
And it has like 6,000 meters.
Even more, I think,
even more.
11,000 meters of height, which you do in total. So that is absolutely insane. And you have the biggest ultra runners there. You have Kilian Jornet, you have Zach Miller, you have all these guys, which are not really famous, but if you go into the scene a bit, you get to know them. Yeah. It's really interesting. And all of them also say you need to kind of enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You need to try to enjoy yourself, and you need to always focus on put it into different chunks, make it approachable for yourself. Don't say to yourself, I still need to, because sometimes I fall into this mental trap. When I did my marathon also, I said to myself, I still have 15 kilometers.
Yeah.
But no, maybe just focus on the next kilometer.
Yeah.
Then it becomes more realistic for you.
Yeah.
And so we won't speak about that today. We will do an ultra marathon in Berlin. I think you already spoke about it on your channel, right?
I've mentioned it very briefly.
So in August, it will be a huge thing. It's a beautiful ultra marathon, I think, all along the former wall of Berlin, right?
Yes.
160 kilometers.
164 kilometers.
Completely flat. We need to mention that too.
Yeah.
So that is a advantage.
It's a plus.
It's a plus.
Absolutely.
And so what was my point? Yeah, you need to try to focus on the next step ahead. Maybe not when we are at kilometer 50. Maybe it's not so wise to think about, I still got 110 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so last year I met Simon.
Speak about the story a bit.
We had a collab going on. Maybe we'll link it down below. We'll also link our Stravas.
I think Strava is a bit dead, or nobody's really using it.
I don't know. Yeah, I have 3 followers.
Firstly, I just downloaded it to track my own runs.
Yeah.
To have a great overview, but nobody, my YouTube community, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Nobody followed me on Strava. No, but Strava is
I don't know how to work.
A lot for bike people, I think.
Also,
and runners.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry.
So we met, and I heard about this run.
Shout out to Docs. He's always giving me kudos on Strava.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Man, too, I think.
Yeah, of course.
So we have the real people here.
Yeah, shout out to Better. He's an amazing dude too, and I've seen he's done also some crazy runs.
Absolutely beast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beast. Crazy beast, man. So we did that collab, and I had heard about this ultra marathon. I was already very fascinated with ultras. I've only ran one time an ultra distance, and it was 64K going along the Lee River from London, Tottenham to Cambridge. And I was destroyed. I had no idea how to run that. I had shin splints. It was a disaster. Absolutely. I couldn't go to the bathroom properly 3 days.
So a question, at the time, did you run regularly? Yes.
Yes.
So you did running, but not on this distance, so you didn't.
Yeah, I had regular runs and
too much on your plate.
Sorry?
You put too much on your plate this day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And but then I read the Dean Karnazes, the ultra marathon man. I was into Scott Jurek, who's a vegan runner. Anton Krupicka, who is the guy who actually developed the New Balance Minimus shoes. He was very famous in the ultra marathons because he would, due to the lack of such a shoe, he would saw off the heel of the sole of the foot, and so he would only strike with the front part. So that's the way he was avoiding hitting it with the heel, because that's what can mess you up, in the shins, ankles, whatever. So
the Achilles also is.
Yeah. So the 13th of August is my birthday. And the 13th of August is the same day wall was built in 1961. So I was living right near the start of this run, and I saw the posters, and it's a very political run because it's to commemorate the people who were killed along this path. And I said, wow, 100 miles. And then I got into the internet and I saw some videos of it, and I saw who won and set the course record for it. And it was this Italian guy, a very, very unique looking individual. He used to be a junkie. And he's full of tattoos of every single character in The Simpsons. So I was like, what's going on? And the dude, he finished the race in 13 or 14 hours, which is just completely ridiculous.
That's insane. Absolutely insane.
So I said to myself, I need to run this one day. And so time went on and on and on. And I never found someone who I could do it with. And I was afraid of doing it. I also felt this was a stupid idea.
And, you know, when you speak about stupid ideas in running, it's me who comes to the equation.
So I asked him, and he was like,
let's do it.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm very happy about that. And so the pressure is on. As you can tell, Simon is a very strong runner. I mean, I run regularly. I would say also I'm a strong runner, but I'm not a fast runner. I simply run, and I'm up for the pain.
Fast is secondary for the ultra run.
Yeah.
Also me, my pace in the marathon, the semi-marathon from yesterday, it doesn't bring me anything in the ultra marathon.
No, you would die.
I will die. I would be put into the emergency tent.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to have met Simon and found someone who can say yes to this type of ventures.
Yeah, we're looking forward. I thought it was amazing because also, like he said, if you don't, I think you know a bit the history of Berlin, but it's a really historical, beautiful city in this aspect.
Yeah.
Because if you run along the wall, at the time you couldn't just enter the 4-meter tall wall from east to west.
Yeah.
So a lot of people died in the attempt of going from the DDR to the west side because the life was just better there.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
And all along the path there are these small monuments with a picture of where someone
the memory of people. Exactly. And I think it will be it's like you said, it's a cultural historical run.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to do this race.
Yeah. And it's not sponsored by any big brands or anything like that. It's just, I say it has a strictly political background. And
Yeah. And how many participants will be there? Do you know that? Not a lot, I think, no? A few hundred? Because in general, for ultramarathons, there are not a lot of people.
No.
Or maybe 1,000, I don't know how many.
But they have a relay modality. So you can build teams of 8 people.
Okay, yeah.
So 8 people will each run 20K.
Yeah.
Or you can do groups of 4. But we're doing the solo.
Yeah. Hardcore.
So we'll start together and we'll meet up somewhere at the end. Who knows how long. Yeah, I have this goal. I would love to finish under 24 hours, between 20 and 24 hours. So that means I need to do 8K per hour or 7.
Which is doable, but it will be a challenge for sure on the distance.
Yeah.
Which pace is that? Like 5:10, 5:15 per kilometer?
No, it's about 6:30.
I think. Okay.
So yeah.
It's realistic.
And let's see.
Let's see about that.
Let's see. I'm trying to run as efficiently as possible, and also I'm not trying to do any fast runs. Every now and then, but I'm practicing a shuffle. Just a way of using the dynamics of the body to do a step forward.
Let's speak about that a bit about we already touched a bit on this topic, but about the preparation. Like, what is your even though I think, as if I understood you correctly, you won't follow a training plan specifically, but what is your match game, your match plan, your idea in order to build up to this event? Before, will you do again a run of 60K? Because that is what I will do. There's distance between where my parents live and the hometown of my mom. It's like exactly 60 kilometers.
Okay.
And it's like 1,000 meters up. So that is a bit of difficulty on plus. But I want to do that in Probably in July I will do
Okay.
that, at least. To kind of at least have done distance of that 60, 70 kilometers to kind of get my mind right, you know. And even then I still know I need to go a long way. But that is, for example, something I will do. And apart from that, my idea is just to steadily increase the volume, to do longer runs, per week maybe to do like 80, 90 kilometers. That would be great, you know, to really focus on, volume is king. You said it in the comment recently when you answered to me.
Yeah.
And it's true. Yeah. So coming back to the question, what is your idea?
I also have a long run planned. You see, usually I take, I have a Brompton folding bike.
Yeah.
So I'll go from here somewhere and then I'll take the bike into the train and I'll ride back. Right now, I want to do something very similar to what you're planning.
Yeah.
And my first objective is to go with the S-Bahn, a train here to Erkner, which is behind the biggest lake in these surroundings, Müggelsee, and that's a 30K run. So I want to go out there and run back. I would like to do a loop, that would be 60K, and I have a friend who lives in Frankfurt Oder, that's near the border to Poland, and that's exactly 100K.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a good idea. I think it is a good idea, but first I need to build the volume up. When I was living in London, every weekend for I think 18 weekends in a row, I ran a half marathon. And I would like to see if I can actually run 3 half marathons in 1 week, just to establish, or maybe try to up my shortest run from 10 to 14 to 16 to 20, and see how that goes. I mean, anything can happen. I can get sick. I can twist my ankle. I have a toe that's hurting. I mean, it's still healing, but it's on its way. And I was able to run the half marathon yesterday. So I'm trying to do something that is stupid without feeling stupid.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and see what happens, because it's also a major time investment, and I'm a family man.
That's true.
We have work, we have to take care of, sometimes we take children here, and so time management is going to be an issue.
Yeah, because running takes a lot of time. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I could never do burpees for 2 hours, but I can run for 2 hours.
Yeah, just to go out to go for a half marathon, it already takes 90 minutes, at least if you're quick. If you're really quick. So you're always out for a few hours. True. Yeah.
So I've seen people that do 2 runs per day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, because also practicing under extra fatigue seems to be
a good point. Yeah.
Seems to be a good thing to do.
To run, to rest, and to run again, because that's also something you need to practice, because of course in an ultramarathon you have multiple points where you will just stop. You know, it's not like you grab a drink and you continue to run. No, people have multiple points where we just take a break of like 5 to 10 minutes for sure.
In the best case,
in the best case, or maybe 30 minutes if you want to take a nap.
Yeah.
Because sleeping is also a thing.
I think there's 28 stations.
That's okay.
Every 8K or something, there's an 8 station.
Yeah.
You get food. You get something to drink,
you
toilets,
a warm jacket probably or stuff like that. So
it's gonna be August, so I don't.
Of course. But
probably,
still. And my point being is that you need to practice to run, do a break, and to start running again. You know that the muscles get kind of not cold, and that you get your body used to that. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not to underestimate also. But I think it's a good idea to. One time I did the 4x4 challenge by David Goggins.
I saw that. Yeah.
That is a good practice, for example, for an ultramarathon.
Yeah.
Because you have these resting periods in between, which are a bit longer, of course. It's like 2 hours I had each time rest, or a bit more, even 4 hours. 4 hours. But afterwards, I went for a run again. But again, I had this pre-fatigue. Legs were tired. I didn't want to go out for a run.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah, like a lack of sleep, exactly. So that's a good preparation technique, kind of. But again,
so that's 4 miles
requirement.
every 4 hours.
Yeah, during the period of 48 hours.
48 hours.
So in total, you have 72 miles, if my math are correctly. No, kilometers. Kilometers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and 50 something miles.
Paradox did that one too, didn't he?
He did this one too, yes. Yeah. He has also a video on his channel, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out again. I wonder why Chiba Gastra doesn't go into. I see he's running a lot, and he's getting faster as well. I mean, but someone like him, I think he's like already very used to dealing with fatigue. He never seems fatigued,
to say the least.
But also dealing with soreness. I don't know if I've never heard him mention that he's sore or really sore at least.
Sometimes after 1,500 dips, my chest was a bit itching, but
he's still doing overhead presses.
And the next day 500 burpees.
Yeah, Tiba, you need to come.
He's a phenomenon
and run. Because he ran a half marathon lately, and I see he's doing like 10 Ks under 45 minutes now. Possibly, or under 50.
Yeah. But the thing is just a different kind of focus. If Chibe would go, I already said it to him, if he would dedicate more time to running, he would be an absolute beast. He would really make huge progress. He could easily do a time like I did yesterday in a semi-marathon with a bit of training. Yeah. And because he's a huge athlete, And if you have this fitness base which he has, you can go into running with no problem. But I think his main focus is more like burpees. He really enjoys doing that.
Absolutely.
Dips. He enjoys his weighted work. That's great. Yeah. I think running is always a great supplementary workout. Even if you let's say you're a weightlifter.
Yeah.
Whatever. For me, it's really beneficial if you still go out to run, for example, 1-2 times per week, really outside. I'm not really a big fan of the treadmill. You still can do that.
Yeah, me neither.
But it's also cool to not really always look at running as cardio, but to look at running as a discipline, to kind of cultivate this capacity that you can actually move forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is what is cool. And also, that's what I mean. Doesn't matter which sport you are focusing on, you could always benefit from having 1 or 2 running sessions per week and to.
I always feel it has like a cleansing effect.
That too. Also mentally, it's really great.
Yeah. So if I had a serious burpee session and I had a run planned the next day, I would actually feel much better afterwards. I mean, if there was soreness,
for recovery, true.
It doesn't take the soreness away, but it helps me deal with it much better.
I think it's also because through running, you help your body to transport oxygen more efficiently throughout all your body parts. Like that, you kind of whatever the science behind it is, but like that you recover more quickly, maybe.
Yeah. No, now that we mentioned Paradox and Chiba, I also have to say, and I have to give 2 shout outs because they also boosted my ego, my self-perception towards my ability to do this ultra marathon, and that's Eric McCarthy and Richard from Richard Runs Trails. When I mentioned this somewhere, they gave me great feedback. And they said, it's long distance, no doubt. But don't focus, like you said, on winning. Who can win? I would never go for my first one. No. My focus is, am I able to finish?
Do you want to finish it?
I am considering, obviously, I think I have a 10% chance to finish.
Yeah. And
a 90% chance to not finish. That's right now my approach. Empty-minded, humble, and just see what happens. Yeah. But they said, stay calm. That there's aid stations, and just move forward. Basically.
Try to keep moving. Awesome advice. It's like you couldn't give a better advice for ultramarathon.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with them.
And
these two guys, they did already many ultramarathons.
Eric McCarty.
So big respect.
I've seen lots of pictures, and Richard Runstrailsand. He just recovered from I think a hamstring injury, but I saw him on Strava.
Yeah.
And he's back into doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, shout out to both of you. Do we have any big runners in the community you can think of?
Burpees Bandit is doing some running recently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Burpees Bandit. I love that dude.
Shout out to Down Under.
Yeah, he's fasting a lot now.
Yeah.
I met him too. He came to Berlin and we had a collab and so he had some stuff to do here. I cannot say anything about his private life, which
keep it secret.
He's a mystery. So
and Paradox, he's also running with.
Yeah.
But apart from Eric and Richard, I don't know if anybody has already done ultramarathons. I am really not aware.
Yeah, me neither.
Somebody's watching and yes, then let it put in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Definitely. I wrote down some stuff we wanted to talk about today. 2 of them we've actually done. And
there's one more point. Because I asked him about that. I don't know if you know, Chris is paying a lot of attention to his food, or how do you say, nutrition.
Nutrition, yeah.
Yeah, because he's actually vegan. Right?
Yeah.
So I did it during some time, a long time ago, during a few years, and I felt also really quick. However, I noticed a few things which afterwards made me go back again to implementing some animal products. I'm not eating meat since 12 years, still today.
Okay.
But I wanted to hear a bit about that. Which changes you noticed? How are you eating? What is your meal frequency?
Yeah.
Do you count calories? I already know the answer, I think, but for the camera. Yeah. Speak a bit about that.
Well, yeah, I turned vegan May 2015. Basically, the premise behind it was I hated vegetables. And you can ask my wife. Every week, I would go and buy 60 eggs. Those 60 eggs were gone in 1 week.
That's a huge intake.
That's 8 eggs per day.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 of them I would eat raw in the morning with orange juice.
Like that, really? Okay.
Yeah. No, others I would cook.
Yeah.
But I used to love bacon, meats. I mean, I still do.
Yeah.
I'm not allergic.
Yeah.
I just stopped doing it. And when I was living in London, I was living in Political Collective. There were vegans and there were straight edge people, and they were doing this strictly out of ethical and political reasons, so no athletic background.
Yeah.
And I was confronted with this, and I was very intrigued.
Curious,
and
yes.
also I did eat like them within the premise, but if I was out, I would eat normal.
Yeah.
But that was my first confrontation. But then I started seeing vegan athletes, Scott Jurek being one of them, and another a guy from New York who is a raw fruitarian, which I think is just like extreme.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
But and then I saw like people like Frank Medrano.
Yeah.
So right at this time, I started going to a gym called Strength here in Berlin, and it's a gym for vegans. And this is a place where the strongest German powerlifter or strongman would often come to train and do his videos. Patrick Baboumian. Maybe someone has heard of him. But his approach was basically, everyone talks about where does your protein come from, but where do your amino acids come from? Because
protein is made of amino acids. Of course.
So you break it down into the amino acids, and then you intake that, and you create. So in the vegan strategy, there's protein, but there's also a focus on amino acids, and I enjoyed it a lot. I would say the biggest thing was to notice how well I was digesting my bowel movements. I don't want to go into detail, but I was just like really intrigued. My energy levels, And already, you see, the thing is, I've always struggled with weight.
Yeah.
I'm an overeater. I have a, let's say, addictive personality. I have had my issues with drugs.
Yeah.
And ever since I stopped, food has been something that gives me pleasure.
Really cherish, yeah.
And my highest weight was 99 kilo. So that's 220 pounds.
How much you have today? 70?
I'm 75 right now.
75.
So 165, that's 55 pounds difference.
Okay. It's huge.
And it's huge. It's huge.
It's known that many people who go on a vegan diet, they lose weight, or to lose weight, that's great.
Yeah.
I think also because you spoke about protein intake, but because let's be honest, you can eat vegan and you can eat really in a shit way. Because if you always eat processed stuff, it's still not great. But if you really focus on non-processed foods, there's also a huge focus on nutrients.
Absolutely.
That is why you also eat plant-based for biggest part. Me, I'm eating plant-based for huge part. I have animal products, but also in animal products there are nutrients. So I think if you kind of focus on eating natural foods, let's say, and not stuff with less ingredients, you're already on a good way. So for vegan nutrition, it's a huge aspect also to focus on. You want to get nutrients in, and if you get nutrients in your body can work more efficiently. You know?
Absolutely.
You're not gaining excessive amount of weight due to some stuff which you're eating, which your body can process, and you also. I don't know, from your experience, could you eat more when you went vegan? Because the means of eating the calorie density usually is less because you don't have animal products anymore.
Yeah.
So
I was
that's something I noticed.
Obsessed with doing curries.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like proud of myself that I was able to do a curry. Basically, I just bought some coconut milk and put everything in. Then I started getting a little bit more meticulous about it. I started reading recipes, and I was buying the seeds of the coriander, and I was buying turmeric, and I was buying all these herbs, and they were getting even more and more delicious. So for me, I was also gaining weight on a vegan diet.
Okay.
That's a myth. I mean, if you
can, absolutely.
You can.
Yeah.
But I think also when people go vegan, they also have an extra mindset of strictly going into the caloric deficit.
Yeah.
For me, that wasn't the thing. I just wanted to feel well.
Which is important to still have enough calories when you switch to a vegan diet, I think.
Yeah.
To not fall into this trap of losing weight, but that's important. Yeah.
It's ridiculous how much calories 100 grams of almonds has. And 100 almonds, I mean, it'll fit here.
Yeah.
And it has probably like 400 calories.
Yeah. It's huge.
And also like oats. If you pour yourself in some oats are full of calories too. So it is easy to have enough calories.
Absolutely.
But for me, it's more like I like to fast every day. And I do usually a fast. I try to reach the 20 hours. Sometimes it'll be 18.
Huge.
And today we're eating afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break my fast earlier today. But if I do that, I'll try to only have a snack before sleeping.
Okay.
Because that's kind of important for me to not go with a big belly in bed. Because that's the time where you, I guess, break down the most amount of fat during the day, during sleep. So that's my approach. I don't have a single supplement, no vitamins,
interesting.
For years.
Okay.
I once tried creatine, and I remember I was getting puffy. I had puffy cheeks because there's water retention.
Yeah.
And so if you don't watch out for your salts, you get puffy, and that was happening to me. But I'm not
amazing.
a single.
You're striving on the vegan diet. It's amazing. It's really good.
I feel good with it. Yeah. Up until now, I mean, and I do recognize all of the ethical elements within it. It doesn't mean I'm strict about it because it's incredible to know that there are actually vegetables that are not vegan because they use animal manure to fertilize the soil and stuff like that. Things you learn
of course.
with time.
That's also something I noticed. And you spoke about cooking. I love cooking. I think for me it's a skill which everybody could. I honestly learned to do a few meals.
Yeah.
And you already are good. You know, you need to be able to cook to some degree. But me, when I changed to more plant-based eating style and was not eating meat anymore, and when I started cooking, I was also starting to experiment, like you said, with different spices. To kind of find out what you can combine and put a bit of paprika there, a bit of curcuma, a bit of turmeric, and it's amazing. You get a great meal. I love curries, and it's my life. So I'm completely on your side. Cooking is amazing, I think.
What's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal? Wow. Something really... My favorite, like, everyday meal, or which I could eat every day.
Let's say that.
Like something which I really love is, there's something animal-based in it. I really love to eat potatoes, baked potatoes, spinach, and some eggs.
Ah, sounds good.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you? And by the way, I love the Indian cuisine. I love Asian cuisine. It's my life. I could eat every meal there.
Well, to be honest, lately I've been ordering when we don't have time to cook or something. They're called poke bowls. Apparently, this is a Hawaiian food, but the Vietnamese here have made it their own.
Okay.
It's just basically rice, and then you have peanuts, wasabi. No, not wasabi. You know those algae?
The green algae. I know what you mean.
Tofu in my case, or seitan, and lots of other stuff. I love it. It's a really nice plate.
Rich meal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like that one. Hell yeah.
If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life every day, what would that be?
Rice, beans, and avocado. That's my favorite. Okay. I mean,
which kind of beans? Like these?
Black beans. I always buy black beans at the organic store because they don't sell them elsewhere.
Okay.
And I have a pressure cooker, and I do them Guatemalan style. So.
I think that's. I need to try that once from you.
Okay, cool.
I was searching for a recipe. It's a bit spicy, you know.
You can make it spicy. I don't make it spicy because my daughter and my wife eat from it. But I have spicy sauce.
Okay, but I love that beans and.
Yeah, beans is amazing. Yeah,
beans are amazing. In South America, it's eaten a lot, I think. Also, in
breakfast, midday, and evening.
Yeah.
I mean,
beans is really a big layer of
and tortillas.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So you're here for a couple of days. You're leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
And you came and ran with a friend of yours.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Do you have training partners?
For my running in general?
In general, for like, I see you sometimes do something with a guy called Celso.
Yes, he's really cool. It's with him where I met in Bochum, in Germany, which is not so far from here. By the way, maybe he will come to the Utrecht meetup as well, to join at least. And but unfortunately he's living a bit far away from where I live, so we can't train regularly together. That's the thing.
He's a soccer coach.
He's an athletic coach for a soccer club, so he's working with kids and this kind of stuff, and he's incredibly fit. He's like 50, I think, and he has a huge fitness level.
Yeah, I saw a video of the both of you training. I like his attitude. He's always pushing.
He was the drill sergeant.
Okay.
Nice. No, but apart from that, I'm training alone. But I have some friends with which I run, but they are running slower, which is no problem. But it's not really for my training runs, so. Just for the pleasure of running, to run together. It's cool. Cool. And you too, right? You train alone, or you have training partners sometimes for running.
Sometimes I have a training partner for running, and luckily it's someone who's also equally strong as I am, and we push each other specifically on the times for the half marathon.
That's great.
I need to do one thing, sorry. There we go.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
he
can
ran yesterday, but he was sick. I told you
I
about
told
him.
him, okay.
Yeah. So Sundays in the summer we meet at 6 a.m., which is absolutely ridiculous. But since it's 2 hours and he always leaves afterwards, I make the extra effort to run with him. So yeah, shout out. He doesn't watch my channel. He doesn't watch YouTube.
Okay.
But, yeah, he's an engineer and he's always very focused with work and driving to work and stuff like that. So yeah, luckily we used to climb together.
Okay.
So climbing is another big thing in my life. I used to do that religiously. I used to compete and everything. I used to consider myself a strong climber, especially in my age. That's what brought me also to the gymnastic rings, because when I couldn't climb, I would just train the muscle up in order to maintain a certain strength for climbing. But now that my daughter goes to school and she's getting older and we need to manage time with my wife, I'm not climbing at the hours I used to climb. Yeah, so yeah.
Just climbing, I said to you, one day we need to do it together.
Yeah.
Because I never did it, but I think it's extremely hard. I have huge respect for this kind of sport.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I always, when I see this
and
kind of videos,
soreness of the
forearms especially. I think forearms, shoulders, traps also here, no?
Absolutely.
It's huge upper body work.
Yeah,
Well, full body work, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we have the 3 topics covered. Do you have anything else you would add?
No, just let's enjoy ourselves in Berlin in August. Until then, you will hear something from us, I think, in the one or the other video.
Yeah, and I hope a lot of people are coming to the Utrecht.
Yeah.
On June 21st, is it?
I think 21st to 23rd. Yeah. No,
That's going to be fun. I mean,
I can't wait.
the UK fraction of the burpee community is amazing. I love that. And also the Netherlands is not to underestimate. I mean, I was looking in Instagram and I saw that they're much more present on Instagram, but there's a huge burpee community.
There are quite a few, yes.
Yeah.
Not only you have Chibe, Frido, Stuart, and I guess some other people too.
Yeah, shout out to Frido. I think he's running a crazy race.
He did the High Rocks.
High Rocks.
Oh,
it was already?
This CrossFit combination of different kind of stuff. I saw in his shorts that he did it.
Oh, cool.
Big salute.
I'm going to go check out. I haven't been active on YouTube, so I'm going to go get back into it a little bit.
That was really cool. High Rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. We're going to...
Big salute. We will go eat something.
Absolutely. And take care. Hope to see you next time. Maybe next time we'll be doing some reps. Today we're just recovering and having a good time. So see you next time. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You're going to get this same video. And I'm going to link his channel, obviously. Maybe someone that follows me hasn't followed Simon. So please do. And show some love.
Let's go. Salute.
Salute.